YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and summer's here, so I thought today for Tracy's Tuesday Tips, we can talk about summer tips for eBay and Amazon. Okay, so school ended here 3 days ago in Florida, and the kids are out of school. Things are changing both in my family, with my schedule, and with my Amazon and eBay business. For me, since I homeschool, I find that the summers I have a lot more free time. Now you might be opposite of that because the kids were in school and now you're feeling like you have to occupy the kids. So summer might actually be harder for you, but for me and for my family, it's actually easier because we're not on this rigid schedule that I'm always talking about. You know, I'm not having to homeschool. I'm putting the kids in camps and we're doing swimming lessons and we're hanging out by the pool and we're just having a really good time, and it frees my schedule and it frees me up personally to pursue some things that I can't get to throughout the year because, you know, I'm in that regime of having to be responsible for so many things and following the schedule to the T. Because I have this huge chunk of time that I didn't have before, I get to list a lot over the summer. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is what to list. Does summer make a difference in the amount that sells or the items that sell on eBay and Amazon? Springtime, January, February, March, April, those are actually probably the slowest months for me. It's after the big spending frenzy of Christmas. Everybody seems to be, you know, not shopping as much because they spent so much over the holiday, and it's just a drier time. You know, we're in the middle of winter in most parts of the US, and it's just not flowing as it does the rest of the year, at least for me. So spring is the driest time. I'm really glad that it's leaving, and now we are entering summer, because summer rocks for me. And I'm gonna tell you why in just a minute, but I really like summer. I think people have a lot more time on their hands. I think they're excited about the weather, they're excited about the freedom, they're traveling, they're having fun, and they're spending more money. And then we slide right into fourth quarter with amazing sales starting September, October. And so from this point moving forward for the rest of the year, I do really good sales. And we're going to be talking about, you know, every season a little bit. I did some videos, you know, after the Christmas sales, shopping, you know, getting those clearances, and, you know, for next fourth quarter. So every time we have a season that comes up, I'm going to pop out a video to you and try to, you know, help you keep up with the seasons if you're not familiar with it already. Tips about the summer. First thing, summer is a great time to reflect. We are midway through the year, people, and we've been talking about our goals, you know, since January. We, you know, really start the year. Everybody's really motivated in January, right? We're ready, you know, it's a new year, it's a fresh start. We have all these things we want to do, and we set these goals, and then we kind of start to fizzle out. So summer is the perfect time, halfway mark, to say, all right, how am I doing with all of this? You know, how am I doing with those goals that I set in January? What do I need to change? What do I need to implement? How can I hit this? And I've been putting videos out there about goals, but more than the goals, it's a good time to reflect on everything. I reflect on my homeschooling. You know, how did last year go? What do I want to do differently next year? I'm wrapping up, you know, our homeschooling from last year, and I'm purchasing items to, you know, do with them for next year. So I'm reflecting on that. I'm reflecting on our schedule. What do I want more time for next year that I didn't have time, you know, at the beginning of the year? So these are just all things, you know, that you're considering, and part of that, of course, is your business. What went well with eBay and Amazon? You know, what didn't go so well? And summer is just a great time to just take a moment and kind of hit it and think about it. Okay, so the second thing, do things actually sell better in the summer do things sell more in the summer? And if so, what is it? What is selling during summertime that you need to know about? I have a personal opinion about this, but I also asked the Amazon 360 Facebook group this morning what they thought, and they kind of concurred. They thought too that yes, things do sell better in the summer, and yes, there are things that sell differently in the summer months than the rest of the year. And these are some of the things that they mentioned. We talked a lot about board games, games for children. The parents are trying to occupy the kids during the summer months, so they're purchasing things for that. For some reason, printer ink was brought up. Maybe people are printing more, taking more photos, hats, sunglasses, summer type gear, summer type clothing, floaties in the pool toys. I heard sheds. There's a lot of people out there doing yard work and gardening and purchasing those types of things. Camping gear for those camping trips, travel gear just for traveling in general, luggage, those little pill boxes, anything associated with traveling. Those are all items that were brought up on the 360 group. Now that brings me to my third point, which is what I want to talk to you about, and that's my personal preference for the summer months, and what I focus almost solely on is educational items. Homeschooling mom, and I sell homeschooling curriculum like hotcakes over the summer. So I don't mind giving you this huge tip on how to do this because it has been so helpful to me, and I do it every single summer. So this is my living room mess right now. Honest to goodness, this is what I have been working on all weekend long. And I pulled out Sunlight, so this is all Sunlight curriculum that you see here, and this is all eBay. So I made a pile for Amazon, I made a pile for eBay, and I'm listing all the eBay stuff, all the Sunlight stuff first, and then listing all the Amazon. So there are used curriculum fairs that homeschooling groups put out. Homeschooling groups are everywhere. So I'm sure even though you don't homeschool, there are homeschooling groups and associations. You can Google the names of these places. You can call them up or go on their website and find out if they're having a used curriculum fair. Most places do. You don't want the new stuff. Ask them. It's not new vendors coming in because you don't want that. You want the moms and the dads that are selling their stuff. They don't want to haul it back home. They have tables of materials set up, and you can purchase homeschooling curriculum. I literally go there, most of the time they're like 2 hours long. I go early and I pick up all the stuff that I know are really good deals. I just make a quick run around, grab anything that is like, this is a for sure hot deal. And then I don't purchase anything. And I just kind of walk around and I scope out everything else. I try to negotiate prices on different things. I make notes on what I really want. There are some really good name brand sellers, just like in the other category. Becca, Bob Jones, teaching textbooks, Sunlight. These are all name brand curriculum, if you will, and I just kind of scope out who has what. And then the last 10 minutes of the homeschooling sale, I go to like a table and I say, if I take everything home with me today, like this whole table of stuff, I'll give you 50 bucks. And a lot of times they're like, oh, I don't know. But I don't think that anyone's ever really told me no. We might have, haggled over the price a little bit, but I typically always get the merchandise because they don't want to box it up. They don't want to take it home. They don't want it in their house. So something is better than nothing. And I can get entire tables of curriculum that I sell for hundreds and hundreds of dollars for 50 bucks. Other things that sell really, really well over the summer are any type of, textbooks, college textbooks, anything educational just sells well, whether it's educational puzzles, educational games, educational materials, preschool educational items, baby Einstein, everything like that, because what's happening, our parents are getting ready for next year. Even though this year just ended, they are ramping up just like I am. That's what I'm doing in my own home. They are ramping up for next year. They are looking for academic things to occupy the kids throughout the summer, and then they are purchasing things for next year. And at the end of the summer, or midway through the summer, I'm starting to list all the back to school things, which that's going to be a separate video, because I want to actually take you to the store and show you how to make bundles using school materials, back to school materials, where you take a backpack, you put all the most commonly requested items from the teachers, the little sheets you get, and you bundle it all together in a backpack and you sell them. And just anything educational, back to school clothing, anything like that sells really well for me in the summer. So I list a lot. I am in full-blown listing mode right now because I'm going to get all the stuff that I've been compiling all year out there and selling and get rid of it and be accumulating my new material and selling it and just try to sell as much as I can. And then when it fizzles out, I just put it on my shelf, my inventory shelves, and I wait for next year. And then this was my Amazon zone. So I've been placing curriculum in here. This is teaching textbooks, which sells really well. And you can see I have some Apologia. I have some different curriculum there. But that was my Amazon pile. So I listed some Amazon items as well this weekend. And I just have all the Amazon stuff sorted out here in my office, separate from the eBay in the living room. But these are my two rooms. I've been bouncing back and forth, working all weekend long. Fourth thing that Corrine said from the Amazon 360 group, which I thought was a great point, so I wanted to share it with you here today, so thanks Corrine, is be one season ahead. And that is so true. I do that automatically and don't even think about saying that to you, but you do. The stores are one season ahead. You need to be one season ahead. So just like Corrine said, when it's summer, you can start to be selling your winter items, jackets and coats. People are always one step ahead, one season ahead, getting prepared for the following season. That's why the homeschool materials and the educational stuff sells so well, because they're getting prepared for the next school season. The same applies across the board. So Father's Day, you don't want to start selling 2 weeks before Father's Day. You want to start selling a couple of months before Father's Day. And the same with Mother's Day and Halloween and everything. So as soon as I'm done selling my educational stuff, you better believe my Christmas stuff is coming right behind it. I start selling all my fourth quarter goodies. I just start flooding it, come September, I'm full blown on with that. So it doesn't stop. It just goes from education into fourth quarter for me. And that's why I love it so much, because it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of money too. So that's a terrific point that Corinne made, because you do need to be one season ahead. Always be asking yourself, what is coming next? Well, school's coming up, Father's Day obviously is coming up, 4th of July is coming up, and always be looking one step ahead. Start accumulating that material early so that you can have it on the market and be selling that in your eBay and Amazon forums. That's all I have for you today. I hope some of it was helpful. I'm hoping that you're gonna have a great summer, and I really look forward to talking to you next Tuesday if I don't get a video out to you before then. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.